Okay, welcome. Welcome to Skin School. Today with Nyakio, the founder of 13 Lune. I'm so excited just because she's an amazing founder, had an amazing idea, and the team built like an unbelievable platform, especially to support darker skin tone founders, catering to melanin-rich skin. And I think it's good to have her here today and talk about everything she wants to entrepreneurship, but also everything about melanin rich skin. So welcome, Nyakio.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
I like your
Thank
shelf.
you. Thank you. I have all
cool.
my Barbara right here.
Amazing. That's so cool. So I'm so excited to have you, and I want to know everything. And I think everybody would be so interested in, how this idea came about, how you started, what were the, difficulties, where did you get super good support? And then obviously also I would like to talk about, melanin rich skin, what's the difference in science a little bit. But in general, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm so excited to be here at Skin School. Such a fan. So happy to be in partnership with you at 13 Lune. So yes, to everyone I haven't gotten a chance to get to know.
We are so honored, by the way. We're so
thank
honored.
you. Thank you. One of our original ally brands. And it makes perfect sense. I'm Nyakio for everybody I haven't gotten the chance to meet. I'm a skincare founder first. I started a skincare brand called Nyakio Beauty 20 years ago, inspired by my Kenyan heritage. I'm a first generation American of Kenyan descent, and I created a skincare line based on beauty secrets that were passed down to me by my medicine man grandfather and my Kenyan coffee farmer grandmother. And so that's how I started in the business, and really sort of taught myself how to be an entrepreneur by creating my grandmother's coffee scrub in my kitchen. She taught me how to make it in Kenya when I was 8, and then, sort of grew it into a business in my 20s and 30s, and then launched it into Target in 2020. It's been sort of everywhere, had many stops and starts. I sold at Ulta, I sold on HSN. And so have really kind of understood the gamut of being a Black female founder, creating clean beauty products for all. And then in the summer of 2020, after the murder of George Floyd, I found myself and the Nyakio brand showing up on all the lists, top Black owned, Black founded businesses to follow and to shop. And while the recognition was lovely, it was also, built on the precipice of this very heartbreaking time that we were all going through, really globally. And, I started to shop these lists. And what I found very quickly there were so many Black owned brands, efficacious brands, clean brands using incredible ingredients, not only for melanin rich skin, but for everyone on these lists. And they had very little distribution, very little following. And, as we were watching beautiful initiatives like the 15% pledge come about, and, sort of seeing the retail community work to get to 15% of their shelves with proper representation, my co-founder and I thought, why don't we take our own pledge and make our own promise and open our own next retailer? And so 13 Lune was created, which is the first of its kind, truly inclusive beauty retail platform. 90% of our brands are created by Black and Brown people who create products for people of all colors. And 10% of our brands are dedicated to allyship, including your beautiful brand. And ally brands are brands that were long before the summer of 2020, who were really dedicated to serving all in their formulations, in their marketing, making sure that people with melanin rich skin felt welcome in their brands. And so we've got this beautiful handful of ally brands, including your incredible products. And so we started with 13 Black owned brands and a couple of ally brands. We now have over 120 brands, and recently inked a deal with JCPenney Beauty. And so we'll be opening 600.
Cool.
Oh, thank you. It's been 14 months, very quick, amazing growth, but yeah, so we'll be opening 600 stores at JCPenney, 13 Lune stores within JCPenney over the course of the next year.
That is unbelievable. I don't know how you manage, because that seems to be a lot to manage. And, I know since I'm also running a brand with a lot of people, with a lot of global business, it's kind of tough to, get into the business side, especially when you come from an entrepreneurial side where you create things, the science background. And, for me, it was always very important that I was inclusive with my patients, and that's for me, never the reason, what, skin concern or skin color or age or gender or whatever it was. And, I started out as a doctor. I'm still a doctor by heart. I just want to bring solutions to my patients. So whatever my patient came with, I was like, yeah, I think I have to do something for you here. I think I have to create something, because I couldn't send them to any other brand because they weren't like, creating with that care I did, because I created the line out of my doctor's office, for my patients. So for us, it was always very important to, give everybody with skin a chance to use a Sturm product. Yeah. And so when I met Angela Bassett, and she was excited about the products and her skin, how her skin transformed, and I was talking to her, and she was like, nobody really caters to melanin rich skin. And I said, okay, I'm going to study this. And in 2014, we launched the darker skin tone line, and Angela flew to London. It was pretty amazing. So we really tried to do a good, buzz around it, but it never really felt like, ever anybody was interested. Consumers, but not the retailers. And I could place these products anywhere. Yeah. And so, and the difficulties were there. Yeah. From that point. And as you rightly said, from 2020, obviously there was like a big, attention then. But what I find it very important that there is this, attention now, and like, giving like, everybody a platform to shop the right product for their right skin type or gender, age, or, skin concern, I think it's really important.
Yeah. I mean, and, it's interesting, Black and brown consumers, here in the United States are number 1 and 2 in spending in beauty. So that means that not only are they, purchasing products that are created, really with us in mind, we're also purchasing everything else, right? And helping so many brands get to success, which ultimately means helping so many retailers make a lot of money. And so to think that, cut to, before the summer of 2020, when we were really kind of now allowed to speak so loudly about the fact that we're here, and that a consumer that has been underserved for far too long isn't going to necessarily stand for it anymore, that there was any resistance from retailers when you were creating, when you had created the darker skin tones line, those consumers that obviously quickly adopted the line were already shopping those retailers. And so why not? It's almost like leaving money on the table, or worse so, not considering the consumer that's helping you to build your business. And so that, is why we created 13 Lune, because we wanted to make sure that anybody can shop 13 Lune. We carry incredible brands for everyone, and also we wanted to debunk the myth that Black and brown people only make products for Black and brown people. I know I've been using products my whole life by people who don't look like me, and they work on my skin and they work on my hair, and we do the same thing. So I'm so happy. I discovered your brand and the darker skin tones line, long before I ever thought about becoming a retailer, and do remember thinking, like, why is this not distributed in so many places? But really seeing that the community, at least, my community of Black and brown women loved the brand. That's how I heard about it. I mean, so much of our purchasing comes from referral from our friends, and dealing with hyperpigmentation. Someone had suggested that I use your product, and I was so happy to see that that a brand and a brand of your size and that, you know, you had focused on this long before, you know, for some, I think it's become a little bit of a trend. But that's why, you know, we at 13 Loon consider you to be a true ally.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it, just because it also deserves the attention it had deserved way back. And again, you know, the products are made for everybody. I use the darker skin tone line just because they're like more anti-inflammatory. You know, they're good for evening tone. They really help in so many ways. They're, for me, a little more active, and so I know it's so many who use the darker line, no matter if, like, you know, also, you know, we're looking into everybody with melanin rich skin, you know,
right,
people to India or to Asia, or I mean, like, it's everywhere. This line is really, really wanted because of pigmentation. When I looked into the science, I found that because of the higher number of melanocytes, you know, the inflammation level is way higher, and the inflammation cascade is bigger. That's why when you, for example, you know, pick your skin, and you know, the inflammation is not just where this little pimple was, but it's like everywhere. And then something happens, which is called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So the two biggest concerns is basically breakouts and post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And this is what the darker skin tone line addresses in place, you know, with, you know, super good ingredients, nothing aggressive. It's all about hair, repair and heal. Nothing bad for your aggressive or damaging your skin barrier function or your biome, which is important. You get glowy skin. So people really love
it's beautiful product. And I love that you made that point that, you know, that you even use the darker skin tones. You know, I have friends that don't have necessarily melanin rich skin that use it as well, because they're very prone to scarring.
Yeah.
And it's really helpful, or rosacea even, because, you know, that obviously, you know, comes from a source of inflammation in the skin and underneath the skin. And so it's very helpful as well.
Very strong now. This line is very strong in the brand. I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have some of the fun products here.
Yeah, what is your routine? What is your routine? Maybe you want to.
So, you know, I always start with just a gentle cleanser, but if I'm, you know, having a lot of kind of travel and inflammation or breakouts, or I notice that my hyperpigmentation is acting up more, I love the enzyme cleanser that that you make, that really just sort of helps to balance out my pH. I love a great vitamin C serum. And so, you know, in the winter months, I find myself reaching for like a Beauty Stat, you know, his Ron Robinson's vitamin C serum. But I also, in the summer months, like kind of a lighter texture, like a Hyperskin vitamin C serum. I am a big believer in face oils, non-comedogenic face oils, you know, ones that don't clog your pores. You know, our skin is made up of oils, and as we, you know, age, we start to lose those oils. So I just really love to add a few drops of oil back into my skin. So I'll use oils from the Nyakio Beauty line. I also love Vintner's Daughter, which is another ally brand that we carry at 13 Loon. And so I'll do a little bit of oil or serums that are based in oil. And then I love I have it right here, the darker skin tones, serum and drops that yes, that I love to add in, and sometimes add in to my moisturizer, and then just sort of add it all together. And then I always finish up with sunscreen. I wear sunscreen every single day. I think that that's another sort of myth that we're debunking, which is people with melanin rich skin don't need sunscreen.
I can explain this to you, you know, because you're less prone to getting, you know, cancer. Yeah. What happens when we hit the sun, you know, then our melanocytes, which are like little umbrellas, come up to the surface, and it's inflammation, but it's also a protection. And then you get the tan. Yeah. And the tan, you know, when you have like, you know, a disruption in your skin, like a pimple or whatever it is, those umbrellas come fast, and then you get this hyperpigmentation. This is like a over 10 in a way, you know. So use sunscreen, you're not protected from the pigmentation, but you're less prone to cancer or
yeah. But it's still, it definitely still affects our skin. And also, you know, with just the changes in the environment now, the sun is just that much more powerful. So we are seeing melanoma numbers, even though we're less prone to getting cancer. We're starting to see in communities, especially like the Latinx and Latina and Hispanic communities, growing. And so, and then also, you know, a lot of people across all skin tones suffer from melasma. And, you know, with that discoloration that happens with melasma, when you have melanin rich skin, it's, you know, it's dark, shaded, kind of almost like birthmarky spots on your face. And so the sunscreen, you know, definitely helps to protect from that as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you believe in anti-inflammation?
Yeah. I mean, do I believe in it? Yes, I do believe in anti-inflammation. I mean, I believe, yeah, I mean, why do you ask me that?
No, I just like wanted to know how you know, wind down at a stressful day in the office. What do you do to bring your inflammation level down and distress?
I'd say the two key factors for me are hydration and rest. I notice that I feel, even just like physically feeling less inflamed when I get a great night's sleep, if I'm able to take a power nap, and if I'm not dehydrated. So I try to drink, you know, anywhere from 64 to 83. I have this big giant water bottle that I have with me at all times, and just try to, you know, constantly stay hydrated. I have very dry skin too. So
say something about face oils then. If you have dry skin, face oils shouldn't be used so much because it shuts down your own sebum production. Try to hydrate your skin. Try to use the hyaluronic serum and then a moisturizer with a big hydration level. Like, you know, try for a moment to use our cleanser twice a week, the enzyme cleanser, the hyaluronic serum, and the darker skin tone face cream rich. Maybe it can help with the hydration level in your skin.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I love hyaluronic acid. I use that and incorporate that a lot as well. And then, you know, I always say a little goes a long way. Like when I say face oil, it's like a couple drops, and then I don't slather the skin. I just kind of pat it into the skin, especially.
Or you try to apply it on really wet skin. So put the serum first and weten your skin, and then put a little bit of face oil on.
Yeah, definitely. But that's great. Yeah, no, I'll definitely, I'll try that for maybe every other day.
What did you learn from your grandma or your mom that was so interesting? Like coffee shops and.
Yeah. So for my grandmother, she sort of taught me my first beauty secret, which I was referring to her being a Kenyan coffee farmer. So when I was 8 years old, that was the first time I got to go visit her and meet her in Kenya. And we, at the end of her name was Nyakio too. So Nyakio Beauty is actually named after her, not me. I'm named after her. Thank you. It means a woman, hardworking woman in the sunshine is what our name means. And so anyway, at the end of the day, we would pick coffee beans and we would crush them, and then we would add, you know, sort of oils and things from her farm. And then she grew rods of sugarcane, and we would take the rods of sugarcane and apply the coffee mixture to our skin and our feet and our legs, and we would exfoliate. So the very first product I ever made.
That's a great recipe, by the way. You guys can do this at home, and
yeah.
Legs. It's really good for cellulite. It's actually really fantastic.
Yeah, and coffee, you know, obviously helps to stimulate the cells, and so and sugar. We would add sugar, brown sugar, and use that to exfoliate our skin. So the very first product I ever created was a Kenyan coffee and sugar body scrub that I launched at Fred Siegel here in Los Angeles back in 2002, and then sort of grew the brand from there. But you know what I really learned from my mom and my grandmothers and my grandfather, who was a medicine man, and he had the ability to go out in nature and extract oils to treat the skin and ailments, and is that, you know, beauty really does, not only from a soulful level, come from the inside out, but stems from the inside out. So it's about, you know, making sure to eat plenty of whole foods, things that come from the earth, rest, hydration, you know, really balancing out the gut is so important. That, you know, it isn't just about what we put on our face, it's what we're putting on our body that helps us to create our own natural glow. And so those are things that, and even with our hair, you know, really being able to use, you know, You know, I love to wear my hair in all different styles, protective styles, braids, my natural hair, and, you know, really learning about, you know, first of all, that our scalp is skin, so that we have to treat the scalp. It's not, you know, just about the hair. It's the scalp is skin, and really giving it the same consideration that we're giving our face and our neck and everything from you know, head to toe. And that, you know, finding what works to really help to balance out the hydration, because, you know, I know in our family, we tend to run very dry hair, dry skin.
Did you try the shampoo? Did we send you shampoos?
No, I just got them last night. I cannot wait. Wash day. It's going to be my.
Yeah, I wanna know what you think. That would be very.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I got them last night. I can't wait, and I'm excited. I'm going to have my daughter. You know, my husband is Irish Italian, and obviously I'm from Kenya, and so my daughter has this gorgeous, textured, super curly, thick hair, and so I'm excited for her to try it.
Let me know what you think. Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then other anti-inflammatory tricks. I intermittent fast. That's really helped with inflammation in my body. So I try to do, you know, anywhere from 12 to 16 hours.
Good.
I feel like, especially as we get older, and, you know, I'm in my 40s now, and hormonal changes, I find that it's always about like playing the inflammation ninja game, you know, just trying to make sure to stay as less inflamed as possible.
Very right. So should we dial someone in? Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Muskan Jaisinghani. I am from India. So it's basically night time here, and I was so excited for this seminar. So yeah. So my question from both of you is basically, my skin, as the season changes, my skin changes a lot, and I have a oily and acne prone skin. So how to take care of my skin, how I can have a balanced routine that I can, you know, take care of my skin in every season. So what's your tip on it?
So oily prone skin, do you have like everywhere oily prone skin or combination?
My cheekbones area, these area are like the major ones.
Yeah. And you know what, really also, when you wear your hair down and everything, this is the typical places where you get breakouts, and then what happens is getting like hyperpigmentation spots, etc. So what's really important, that you definitely never dry out your skin. Sometimes oily prone skin, you know, we think that, oh, we need to dry out your skin because it's too oily. That's wrong. So we always have to hydrate. Yeah. What I recommend to you would be also the darker skin tone hyaluronic serum, definitely instant hydration. And you could use a darker skin tone face cream, or what you also could use, I created this line which is like called clarifying line, which basically heals up the spots, helps to control sebum production. And that's a really good combination to have the clarifying serum, which is also a hyaluronic serum, but at the same time really soothes the skin, and the clarifying face cream to control sebum production. And we just launched another product called the Beta B. It's niacinamide, it's a vitamin B, and this is great because it also helps to control oil production and to smaller the pore sizes. So that could be like the hyaluronic serum, or the clarifying from the Beta B, and the clarifying face cream. I think that would be a really good combination. And then you add in the enzyme cleanser for twice a week to gently exfoliate, and for every day our foam cleanser. And I think that would fix your skin, and independent from seasons, you add your sunscreen if you're going out. And I think that would be really, really good routine for you.
Yeah, thank you. And I had one more, like, if you have acne prone skin, how many times you should exfoliate? Because sometimes I think I do too much of exfoliation. Yeah, and it also gets more acne, like the red one comes up.
But you know why? Because we think, oh, I have acne, I need to scrub my face off. I need to, you know, you kind of like want to scrub it away. And that please don't do. Don't go in with harsh ingredients, because it will dry out your skin, it will make your skin sensitive, it will mess up your microbiome, your skin barrier function, and will make it worse. So gently treat your face. It's like a kid, you know, when a kid falls, you know, and has a bleeding knee, you don't put the kid in time out, you hug it. And it's the same with skin. Your skin already is crying. So let's give them all the love and, you know, gently exfoliate only twice a week and give hydration and soothe the skin and take inflammation out. That is the only way to treat our skin. Let's not aggressively target our skin with all this crazy stuff. Yeah. Stay away from glycolic, stay away from hydroquinone, from retinol, acid peels. That doesn't belong into a skincare routine if you want to take inflammation out. And that is what you need to do with your skin. Healthy skin has a working skin barrier and a working microbiome. Very important, and you don't want to compromise that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's like a myth that, you know, when you have a compromised skin, that you know, obviously big fix, people looking, oh, let's quickly get rid of this, you know, as fast as we can. And everything aggressive. Let's rub it off and screw it off and peel it off. And
and you're just causing more inflammation. Yeah. And it's true. It's like the age-old simple rule. It's like the key to healthy skin is hydration. And the more that we're using, and you know, that's, you know, speaking of darker skin tones and melanin rich skin, it's, you know, I think the idea of just playing with some sort of acid or playing with some certain peel can be even more harmful to people with melanin rich skin. If you know, not all peels or levels of acids, you know, lactics, glycolics, azelaics work well on melanin rich skin. It doesn't mean that we can't use those acids, but they have to be used at a level that won't damage our skin and cause more scarring and hyperpigmentation.
We're on the same page.
We're on the same page. Hydrate yourselves, people.
Hydrate yourself.
And so don't over exfoliate. I hear that so often that people, you know, I think I'm doing too much. Then you ask them, how many times a week are you exfoliating? Oh, you know, 4 or 5 times a week. None of us, even if you have perfect skin, need to exfoliate.
What else do you think are the big myths in the skincare industry?
Gosh, there's many. I mean, we talked about the myth that Black and brown people only make products for Black and brown people. That's the number one irritating myth to me. That, you know, as we talked about with like acids and peels and everything, you know, when people say, you know, gentle enough for daily use, but you're not, you know, really considering the daily use of the level of melanin in the skin. I mean, we all have melanin, but it's all at different levels. And so, you know, the better education around that. And then I'd say from a color cosmetics perspective, that nude is from like pale cream to light pink. That's everything.
Yeah, that is all crazy actually, no?
It's so crazy. Like I have darker pigmented lips. Like this is my nude, right? I've always found that so interesting that that nude. But you know, it's great. We have some great brands over at 13 Lune, like Citizen Cosmetics, created by 3 Pakistani sisters that live in Dubai, and they created this product called Nudiversal lip color, and it's like a lipstick and a lip gloss in one, which is great because you get on each end. And they've literally created a nude for everyone. So like right now I have on Sarajevo is mine. And then sometimes I wear Los Angeles. And so here's one right here. I have one right by me. So this is my nude.
Yeah. Cool.
Which normally wouldn't be, you know, what has long been considered nude in these shade ranges. But it gives me such hope because brands like that and brands like yours are really expanding the idea of what inclusivity and inclusion looks like.
No, I love that. I also love reports from all these different areas, you know, and like give you know, founders a chance to be seen and you know, find the right audience. And
absolutely, beauty is universal, and it's, you know, it brings us all together. It's probably one of the greatest industries that can truly bring about change and connectivity. And, you know, what I love is that it's also telling a global beauty story. You know, so many of the beauty practices and the ingredients that we use and the way that we use them have been used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years around the world, and a lot of marginalized communities that we still, you know, we carry into European and Western beauty standards. Were created in Eastern Asia, Southeast Asia, Africa, you know. And so it is a really wonderful way to be able to bring in good for you ingredients that really help you to achieve what you want in your skin, while also telling a global beauty story, and sort of paying homage back to those who created these ingredients and stories.
Are you looking also, like, when you know, decide for brands, you're taking also into sustainability and how clean, or so, like, not just, I think there are different categories. It's almost like a 13 Lune code, kind of like.
Yeah, definitely. You know, definitely non-toxic, good for you ingredients. In Black and brown communities for far too long, so many products with so many harmful chemicals have been marketed, and so we want to dispel
Can pregnant
that.
people use your products? Pregnant people?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do. I mean, there are certain products, you know, if any products contain things like you know, retinol derivatives or things like that, they come with warnings. But yeah, I mean, my children use them, my friends that are pregnant order them. You know, the products are really good for you, non-toxic ingredients. And I think it's really about knowing more, you know, what's right for your hair type, what's right for your skin type. What is it that you know, what is your shade range? What are your undertones? You know, we really offer an assortment of products that allow you to kind of find your own discovery and see yourself reflected through the collections. And I think also they all come from very rich founder stories. You know, we don't just have brands that are brands. They're people buy into people before they buy into products. And so, you know, when you go to the 13 Lune site, you see that our editorial portion of our site, where we do our storytelling, is almost as huge as our retail store presence.
It's really nice. It's really nice. My friend's daughter was 12. My friend texted me this morning and said, you know, Claudia just asked if your products are tested on animal, and they all love the products, and they're all obsessed with Sturm. But I find it so interesting, you know, that the kids, you know, they're like, kids, are your products tested on animals? They really care so much.
Right.
My products would never be tested on animals. I would never allow that. But so interesting how the consumer, and especially also the new consumer, the new patient, new customer, really, really cares, you know?
Yeah, that's what gives me so much hope about this next generation, especially, you know, Gen Z, is that they care about shopping for good. They care about, you know, it's more than just the product. They care about sustainability. They care about the planet. They care about who is this helping, and, you know, how can I make my shopping more meaningful? And I don't think we're going to go backwards in that. I don't think that people are going to, you know, 10 years from now and 20 years from now, when they have their children, it will only be even more impactful to create businesses that are really businesses that are here to bring about change, to serve a larger audience, to consider all in their formulations, and that for retailers to be really on board with inclusion as well, and not about a tiny percentage of their store, but overall making sure that these consumers are seeing themselves reflected on shelf.
What do you teach your kids about, you know, how to start a skincare routine? What do they care about? What do they want to know about?
So I'm definitely one of those moms that's, you know, my mom said it to me. I say it to my daughter all the time now that she started to wear a little bit of makeup. It's like, never go to sleep with your makeup on. You know, that's a big one. That, you know, obviously hydration is key. I make sure my kids wear sunscreen every single day because they're much more fair than I am. They do have a tendency to burn if they don't use proper sunscreen. And then really it's about what they're putting into their body is just as important
Yeah.
as what they're doing with their skin. So my husband is very into gardening. And so our kids from the beginning of time have always been lovers of vegetables and fruits and juices and smoothies and things like that. And so they're constantly prioritizing their nutrition, which I think will just ultimately, especially now with my daughter, you know, moving into, she's almost 16 and then she's starting to see changes in her skin. She really knows how to handle it. Like when she sees, she's like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to have a little break. I'm not going to eat so much sugar. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to eat sugar this week until this goes away.
You guys have spot treatment? You should also have spot treatment. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we also have all the shades, you know, that is a really good. Yeah.
No, I don't think we have it. Do we have the spot treatment? I don't think we have.
It's all tinted. We have tinted spot treatments, which
we need those.
Yes. Yeah. We have them in all shades. So we need to get on that.
Yes. Let's bring those over to 13 Lune. It's so funny. Yeah, because we were just talking about spot treatments and all the different spot treatments. You know, now I'm in my 40s and all the different brands that I used to try when I was young. Because I had sort of later stage in life. I didn't really suffer from acne as a teenager at all. But then when I was in my 20s and moved to Los Angeles, I started to really suffer from breakouts, and I would fall for all the tricks, right? No matter what my mother had taught me. Because now I was on my own, I was my own purchaser, and I would, you know, order things I would see on an infomercial and then like burn my skin, or I would, you know, buy with the, you know, the trendiest acne spot corrector, you know, that was carried at the boutiques that I shopped at. And it would cause hypopigmentation and, you know, even in things like that, it's like really understanding like what is behind that spot corrector, what is helping to decrease that inflammation or help that pimple to go away may or may not work on my skin. So I learned the hard way. Thank God my skin recovered. But yeah, I definitely,
you know, you're not alone. You're not alone. I think like, you know, that's why it's important that we do skin school and talk about it. That, you know, everybody who's going through this, and as a teenager, you're so insecure about all of that, you know, it's important that you know, understand, you know, not to quickly fix it. Try to stay away from all these acid pills, which promise you like whatever they promise you, you know, that you just start in the morning without a skincare routine, putting foundation on your face with dirty pencils and then makeup wipes to take it off. I mean, like all these things are really, really bad for our skin and skin barrier. It's important to have a good skincare routine. It's important to wash your pencils all the time. It's important to not use makeup wipes. It's important to not use, you know, cleansing brushes, you know, keep your skin intact and, you know, not disturb the biome. Also, it's important to, you know, even out your pH, not be too acidic, not to be too alkaline. Don't use soaps. Use like something which is, you know, pH like your skin. Yeah. I mean, there are so many things.
Like foam cleansers and I mean, I think people I know in the, you know, kids like myself who grew up in the 80s and 90s, it's like you didn't think your skin was clean until it was stripped of all its moisture. And it wasn't until I started to use, you know, gel cleansers or foam cleansers that, you know, while getting my skin clean, you know, also allowed me to maintain some of my hydration, that I really started to feel that balance. Or even things like, you know, I remember when I was young and all of my friends, you know, when they would start to go through, you know, changes in their skin, and, you know, some were super severe and they were having to take things like Accutane, but others would just get like Retin-A or start using certain, you know, retinols that were, you know, prescribed to them or that were bought for them or they bought for themselves. And, you know, while I can use certain versions of, you know, kind of cleaner and less intense retinols, I can't use it every day. And I definitely can use it minimally at best, and only really in certain spots. Like never for me has it ever been an all over treatment, because whenever I've tried that, I will literally burn my skin. It'll be scaly and
burn up our skin, you know, it's just not a good
never a good idea.
Oh, this has been so nice. I'm so happy. know you have to go, but I'm really, really happy you could join today.
Me too. Me too. I had so much fun. Thank you for having me. And yeah, let's get those spot correctors for at 13 Loon. Sure.
Yes.
And I'll let you know how our hair washing goes on wash day.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
Well, thank you everyone.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Soon. Big kiss.
All right. Bye-bye.